Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. I am Girl with Experience, and welcome to stream. It's been a couple days. I went on vacation. I was feeling super exhausted on Tuesday, so I was like, you know what? I'll sacrifice a day. It's fine. We're back. And I'm hyped. I'm so hyped to be here. I hope you're hyped to be here because I am excited to see you today. Really, truly, it's been a very long week. So I am really excited to be here. Really. What's up, Punk? Oh, Punk, what's up? How now, brown cow? Oh boy. Okay. Vacation was great. I just want to throw these things out there. I went to the beach. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I had such a blast being able to go and just hang out and do all of these awesome things. And I went to the beach 3 times in the 4 days I was there. I got there Saturday night. I left on Tuesday late morning, 11 o'clock. I went on Saturday night, Sunday during the day, and Monday. I went to a baseball game. What else did I do? I consistently showered. That's big. I had a healthy sleep schedule where I was actually sleeping a proper amount every day. I ate a whole bunch of delicious food. I had seafood and a bunch of pork. You're usually supposed to eat a lot of seafood whenever you're near the sea, the ocean, whatever, but they also have really good pork soup, so I ate a whole bunch of pork soup. That's what happened. That's my story, and I am sticking to it. It was great. I had a good time. It was something that I really needed to do. I really needed a vacation, especially with everything that has been happening in my personal life. I haven't talked about it really. I'm not going to go into it because that's a little much. But today, that's not what we're here for. We're here for William Shakespeare. I wish I had a portrait of William because I feel like that would look really good. Is if I had a really a face-sized portrait of William and I could just be like, we are here today. We are gathered here today to celebrate William. We're here for Petruchio. I'm not here for Petruchio. I am genuinely not looking forward to it at all. Seriously. The amount that I am not looking forward to this. I've kind of been dreading it a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. Petruchio, every time he comes out, he makes me want to just claw my eyes out. He's so gross. He's so disgusting. So I really hope he has a change of character and a change of heart. I really do. I'm really ready for the singing on the bleachers scene. I've been waiting for this. So I'm patiently waiting. Punk. I'm patiently waiting. Okay. So essentially this is what happened in Act 3 if you were not here for Act 3. Okay, Act 3 was really short. I read it all in one stream. So, it was easy to miss. Essentially what happened is Lucentio and Hortensio were fighting over Bianca, Bianca's attention, and Bianca has clearly shown a little bit more excitement towards Lucentio as her tutor rather than Hortensio as her tutor, because Hortensio isn't skilled in what he's trying to teach her. He isn't good at it. She's not really interested in what he's trying to teach her. Whereas Lucentio is teaching her poetry and English and blah, blah, blah. And Bianca's like, I'm really interested in this and I want to get to know all of these things. I want you to be my tutor and I really like taking lessons with you, blah, blah, blah. And Hortensio is just like, ugh, I hate it. Well, if she doesn't want me, why would I want her anyway? you know. If Bianca is so pure and so wonderful, then why does she have wandering eyes? Like that kind of idea. Okay, and then we get to scene 2 where Katerina and Petruchio get married. So it's Katerina's wedding. Katerina's waiting. Petruchio isn't showing up. Katerina's super upset. She's like, I am betrothed to this man that you were like 100% sure about, and now he's not even showing up for our wedding. I don't understand what I've done. She's heartbroken, and then Petruchio shows up, and he's just like, yo, let's do this. And then they get married, and she's super happy, whatever. Petruchio's wearing like the most ragged crap ever. He's not dressed for the wedding at all. He looks like trash. And he just struts in there and he's like, all right, I'm ready. I know I'm like an hour late, but like, yeah, let's get married. And then they get married, and Katerina's like, oh, I'm so happy that we got married. And Petruchio's like, yeah, I got a jet. I gotta go. And Katerina's like, wait, I want to celebrate with my family. And he's like, no, we're not going to celebrate with your family. I'm going to go, and you're going to come with me. Katerina's like, I don't want to go. And he takes her against his will, or against her will, and they get out. And that's it. That's what happened. Ha ha! And Katerina's father had no problem. Hello, Porfec. Welcome to chat. As long as it is an appropriate question, you can ask away. Punk, I understand that sometimes a man got a thing. Sometimes a man has just got to go to a square dancing lesson. But like, it's just too much. It's just too much. All right. So today, thanks for the follow, Poor. Appreciate it. Let's see, how much Act 1 or Act 4 are we gonna read today? We got okay. Okay, let's see. We got a lot of scenes here. Okay. Yeah, he really does punk. You know what I mean? Like, he's not coming off. Like, I see the comedy of it, and I get it, but at the same time, just some of the ways that he does things and the ways that he carries himself, it's not attractive. Like, there are some things that I saw and that I read that I was like, that's funny, but some of these other things are not funny whatsoever. Like, I have an appreciation for him showing up and just like being in, the worst clothes ever. But at the same time, you also have to realize that Katerina is really fragile. She is the strong-willed woman, but this is the one man that's ever actually pursued her, and he shows up late. And now she doesn't know what to do with herself because she thinks this man really doesn't like me. This man really doesn't care for me because he isn't even going to show up to marry me at this point. And he's late, he's there, and she's just like, oh, he is here. He does care about me. He's here to love me and marry me. And then he just like disrespects everything about her. He holds her in her, same thing with Act 2. So, I mean, they have this little quarrel where he like puts her in his arms, whatever, and they're just like, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, let me go. And he's like, no, I'm not going to let you go. And she's like, let me go. And he's like, no. I can see also, it depends on how it's interpreted, and it depends on how I think it also depends on how it's acted out. So, I mean, if it was acted out in a way where it's very playful, I could see it being less serious. But if it's genuinely like a woman who's in distress, which, I mean, when I think of Katerina, I think of someone who's like very serious and someone who doesn't really she doesn't really joke around about a lot of things. She's a very harsh person. Right, it's a completely different tone punk. I completely agree. You know, it's interesting how this could really, it can really go two different ways. So it's interesting to me reading it in these kind of ways, and reading it in the sense of I have to keep in mind that these are with comedic intent. This is written with comedic intent. It's not written in a way that's like, okay, well, you know, this man is doing all of these things and it's really non-consensual and it's not, and it's funny. Like it's not written like that. It's written in more of a way of Petruchio is this this frivolous guy. He's really ridiculous. He's really insane. And he's like, I'm gonna tame this woman that nobody's ever tamed before. Haha. And then he's just like this completely free-spirited, ridiculous man, right? And I get that. I agree completely, but at the same time, like with the interpretations of what's happening now and all of that, I think it's, I don't know. It's weird. It's two sides of the coin, and I get the humor of it, but at the same time, I'm just like, Petruchio, you could be so much better. You could be so much better. Okay. Act 1, or Act 4, Scene 1. Okay. So we're in the hall of Petruchio's house in the countryside, and Grumio comes in. And Grumio says, Fie, fie on all tired jades, on all mad masters, in all foul ways. Was ever man so beaded? Was ever man so rayed? Was ever man so weary? I am sent before to make a fire, and they are coming after to warm them. Now, were not I a little pot and soon hot, my very lips might freeze to my teeth, my tongue to the roof of my mouth, my heart in my belly, ere I should come by a fire to thaw me. But I, with blowing the fire, shall warm myself, for considering the weather, a taller man than I will take cold. Hollo ho, Curtis! Okay. So we're in Petruchio's house in the countryside. Grumio, his right-hand man, is saying this. He's like, oh God, this dude is like ridiculous. He's like, okay, I am sent before to make a fire, and they are coming after to warm them. Okay, so he needs to make a fire for them. That's what he's there for, in order to, you know, prepare the house before Petruchio gets there. Now, I don't know who Curtis is. Curtis is a chief servant to Petruchio's country house. Okay. I know, I'm not a pirate anymore. The eye patch is gone, you know. The eye patch is gone. I've upgraded to like an actual eye now. You know, my eyeball finally grew back. I'm pretty hyped. Okay. So Curtis says, who is that called so coldly? Grumio. A piece of ice, if thou doubt it, thou mayest slide from my shoulder to my heel with no greater a run by my head and my neck. A fire, good Curtis. Curtis. Is my master and his wife coming, Grumio? Grumio. Oh, aye, Curtis, aye, and therefore fire, fire, cast on no water. So, Curtis is just like, whoa, 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 what's happening right now? And Grumio's just like, dude, it's cold. Okay? Can we get a fire going, please? And Curtis is like, wait, Petruchio's here? And Grumio's like, dude, yes, get a fire going. I just told you this. What's up, Lorenzo? Welcome to chat. And Curtis says, is she so hot a shrew as she's reported? And Grumio says, she was, good Curtis, before this frost. But thou knowest winter tames man, woman, and beast, for it hath tamed my old master and my new mistress and myself, fellow Curtis. Woman ignores piracy. I love it. Okay. So Grumio's just like, look, yes, she is a tamed woman, but at the same time, anyone will be tamed when they're in the middle of a harsh winter. Can we please get a fire going? And Curtis is finding kindling for the fire, and he says, I prithee, good Grumio, tell me, how goes the world? What's going on? He's like, what's going on? Please tell me what's happening. And Grumio's like, it's a cold world, Curtis, in every office but thine. And therefore fire. Do thy duty and have thy duty, for my master and mistress are almost frozen to death. Grumio's like, so Curtis is just like, oh, what have you guys been up to? Like, I'm curious. Like, you've been on all these adventures. I haven't really gotten to go. What's happening? And Grumio's like, it's cold. Okay? It's cold literally in every corner of the world. We're freezing to death here. I'm about to die. Come on, let's go. Let's get this place heated up right now. And Curtis is rising from the hearth and says, there's fire ready, and therefore, good Grumio, the news. And Grumio says, why, Jack boy, ho boy, and as much news as wilt thou. Okay? He's like, news, okay, whatever. No, I'm not giving you anything. And Curtis says, come, you are so full of coney catching. And Grumio says, why, therefore, fire? For I have caught extreme cold. Where's the cook? Is supper ready? The house trimmed, rushes strewed, cobwebs swept, the serving men in their new fustian? The white stockings, and every officer his wedding garment on. Be the jacks fair within, the jills fair without, the carpets laid, and everything in order? So, essentially, Grumio is just like, look, we don't have time to gossip right now. People are headed here. Like, is everything ready? Are we ready to go? Is dinner ready? Is everybody in uniform? Is everything cleaned up? Like, I need to know what's happening. And Curtis is like, already. And therefore, I pray thee, news. He's like, come on, give me the gossip. Honestly, like, Curtis, respect. I get it. You know what? You know what your priorities are. You are demanding what you need, and I get it. And Grumio says, first, no, my horse is tired, my master and mistress fallen out. Curtis, how? Grumio, out of their saddles into the dirt, and thereby hangs a tail. Curtis, let's have it, good Grumio. Grumio, lend thine ear. And Curtis says, here. And Grumio strikes Curtis's ear and says, there. And Curtis says, this 'tis to feel a tale, not to hear a tale. Grumio says, and therefore 'tis called a sensible tale. And this cuff was but to knock at your ear and beseech listening. Now I begin. Imprimis, we came down a foul hill, my master riding behind my mistress. And Curtis says, both of one horse. And Grumio says, what's that to thee? Curtis, why, a horse. So Grumio essentially is saying, he's like, look, they fell off their horses and they're really cold and they're really tired and they really are upset right now. They're like really grouchy. Okay. And so Curtis is like, oh, tell me more about this. And then he hits him over the head and he's just like, look, I hit you, it's a sensible tale, right? It's like, it's a tale of all senses. You can feel it and hear it. And allegedly, they were riding on the same horse. And Curtis is like, oh, the same horse? You mean he was straddling her from behind on the same horse? And Grumio's like, tell thou the tale. He's like, shut up, Curtis. I'm trying to tell you before they show up. And then I can't tell you the tea anymore, okay? You're going to have to wait until later unless you are just patient, okay? Sorry, it looked like my mic was off. Okay. What's up, Kermies? Oh, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Okay. So Grumio is just like, let me give you the tea. But hadst thou not crossed me, thou should have heard how her horse fell, and she under her horse. Thou shouldst heard in how merry a place, how she was bemoiled. How he left her with the horse upon her, how he beat me because her horse stumbled, how she waded through the dirt to pluck him off me, how he swore, how she prayed that never prayed before, how I cried, how the horses ran away, how her bridle was burst, how I lost my crupper, with many things of worthy memory, which now shall die in oblivion, and now return, unexperienced, to thy grave. So Grumio is just like, but let me just tell you, I was going to give you all of this gossip and all of this tea, but because you pressed me so hard, I'm not going to give you as much. So essentially, it sounds like she fell off of her horse. The horse was on top of her. He let her just like lay there with a horse on top of her. And he beat up Grumio because he was upset that the horse was not doing well. And then she got up from under a horse and then took him off of Grumio, took Petruchio off of Grumio, and then he started swearing at her and she started praying. Grumio was crying, the horses ran away. Like, it was just a train wreck. It's like one of those things where you're just like, oh my god, I missed my flight, because it was like it left early for some reason. Like, for the first time in history, a flight left early, and then my next flight was delayed, and blah blah blah. And you're just like, oh my god. And Curtis is like, by this reckoning, he's more shrew than she. So yeah, and I agree. Petruchio is such a shrew. Like, so essentially he's like swearing at people, like yelling at people, being a piece of trash to people. And Grumio's like, I and that thou and the proudest of you all shall find when he comes home. But what taught I of this? Call forth Nathaniel, Joseph, Nicholas, Philip, Walter, Sugarsop, and the rest. Let their heads be slickly combed, their blue coats brushed, and their garters of an indifferent knit. Let them curtsy with their left legs, and not presume to touch a hair of my master's horse till they kiss their hands. Are they all ready? So Grumio's like, yes, it was intense, but guess what? You're never going to hear about it. So go get all of the other servants and make this happen. Got it? And Curtis is like, they are ready. Grumio, call them forth. Curtis, do you hear, ho? You must meet my master to countenance my mistress. So he's just like, yo, guys, come on, let's go, guys. And Grumio says, why? She hath a face of her own. Curtis, who knows not that? Grumio, thou, it seems, that calls for company to countenance her. Curtis, I call them forth to credit her. Grumio, why, she comes to borrow nothing of them. And then Nathaniel, Philip, Joseph, Nicholas, and Gregory all enter. Wait, whoa. Where's Sugarsop? Is Gregory Sugarsop? Okay, Nathaniel. Joseph, Nicholas, Philip, Walter. Where's Walter? There's no Walter and there's no Sugarsop. I have no idea who Gregory is. They're just servants. It's fine. It doesn't matter. They're just mere plebeians. So they come in, and Nathaniel says, welcome home, Grumio. And Philip says, oh no, brown cow, Grumio. And Joseph says, what, Grumio? And Nicholas says, fellow Grumio. And Nathaniel says, I don't remember what Nathaniel had. There was such a whirlwind. I think this was Philip, but still. How now, brown cow, old lad? And Grumio says, welcome you. How now, brown cow, you. So many how now, brown cows right now. How now, brown cow, you. What, you, fellow you? And thus much for greeting. Now, my spruce companions is all ready and all things neat. So Grumio's just like, look, is everything ready to go? Nathaniel, I just need you to tell me that everything is set and ready to go so that by the time that he's here, everybody's going to be happy. And Nathaniel's like, all things is ready. How near is our master? And Grumio says, even at hand, alighted by this, and therefore be not cock's passion. Silence! I hear my master. So Grumio's just like, he's near, he's close. You guys better be like ready 7 minutes ago because, it was time. And he's like, wait. I heard the splitting of a cracker. It must be the master. So then Petruchio and Caterina both come in, and they're muddy. And Petruchio says, where be these knaves? What, no man at door to hold my stirrup, nor to take my horse? Where's Nathaniel, Gregory, Philip? I'm so mad at Petruchio. He's so ridiculous. And the servants all come here, and they're like, here, sir. And Petruchio says, here, sir. You're logger-headed and unpolished grooms. What, no attendance, no regard, no duty? Where's the foolish knave I sent before? And Grumio says, here, sir, as foolish as I was before. And Petruchio says, you peasant swain, you horse and malt-horse drudge. Did I not bid thee meet me in the park and bring along these rascal knaves with thee? So Petruchio is just like, geez, where are all of these people to help attend to me Where's even Grumio, who I sent before me to make sure everybody was ready to go? And Grumio's like, here I am, the piece of trash that you sent before you. And Petruchio's like, get your butt over here right now and come help me. What is the point of sending you here beforehand if nobody's ready? And Grumio's like, Nathaniel's coat, sir, was not fully made, and Gabriel's pumps were all unpinked in the heel, and that there was no link to color Peter's hat, and Walter's dagger was not come from sheathing. There was none fine but Adam, Rafe, and Gregory. The rest were ragged, old, and beggarly, yet, as they are, here are they come to meet you. So Grumio's just like, look, some people didn't have their shit together, all right? I acknowledge this. But you also have to keep in mind, we were trying to get it together, but we're all here for you, okay? So just don't worry about it. And Petruchio says, go, rascals, go and fetch my supper in. So Petruchio's just like, you know what? Get out of my sight. I don't want to see you anymore. I don't want you to be here. I'm just tired of all of you. So all of the servants exeunt. And then he starts singing. Oh, wait, here, hold up. I don't have my microphone at hand, but I do have this vitamin C bottle. I promise it's not like a weird, tiny alcohol bottle thing. I promise. Okay. So, he starts singing and he says, where is the life that late I led? Where are those? And then he stops and says, sit down, Kate, and welcome food. And welcome. Food! 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 He's like, everybody, he's like, food. Bring in food, guys. Kate, sit down. Food, come on. We're hungry. And then the servants come in with supper. And then he says, why, when I say, nay, good sweet Kate, be merry, off with my boots, you rogues, you villains, when? And so he's just like, Kate, chill out. It's totally fine. And then he's like, look, he's like yelling at his servants, and he's just like, guys, take off my boots. What are you guys doing? And then a servant kneels to take off his boots, and he sings, it was the friar of orders gray, as he forth walked on his way. And then he stops again and says, out, you rogue, you pluck my foot awry. And then he kicks the servant, says, take that and mend the plucking of the other. And then the second boot is removed. Be merry, Kate. Some water here, what ho? He's just like, Kate, calm down. It's okay. And then he's just like, guys, can we get some water in here? Some food, please? Thanks for the follow, 293. Appreciate it. So the servant then enters with water. Then he says, where's my spaniel Troilus? Sirrah, get you hence and bid my cousin Ferdinand come hither. So he's just like, where's my dog? I want to see my dog. And I want to see my cousin. And then the servant leaves. And then he says, one, Kate, that you must kiss and be acquainted with. Where are my slippers? Shall I have some water? And then there's a basin that's given to him. And he says, come, Kate, and wash, and welcome heartily. So he gets this basin so that he can wash himself and so that Kate can wash herself because they're covered in mud. And then he makes the servant spill the water. Great. And he says, you whoreson and villain, will you let it fall? And then he strikes the villain. And Caterina says, patience, I pray you. 'Twas a fault unwilling. Petruchio, a whoreson, beetle-headed, flap-eared knave. Come, Kate, sit down. I know you have a stomach. And then she sits at the table, meaning, like, she's hungry. He's like, I know you're hungry. Will you give thanks, sweet Kate, or else shall I? What's this, mutton? He's like, oh, wait, we're having mutton tonight? Really? Is this really what we're having right now? And servant one, yes, servant one, says, I. All of the other servants have names, and he couldn't have come up with a name for servant one. Are you kidding me? I. And Petruchio says, who brought it? And Peter says, I. Petruchio, 'Tis burnt, and so is all the meat. What dogs are these? Where is this rascal cook? How durst you villains bring it from the dresser, and serve it thus to me, that love it not? There, take it you, trenchers, cups and all. And then he starts throwing food at the servants. You heedless joltheads and unmannered slaves, what do you grumble? I'll be with you straight. And then all of the servants exude. Servant 1 is his real name. Oh, that'd be so sad. I'm servant 1. The end. And Katerina says, I pray you, husband, be not so disquiet. The meat is well, if you were so contented. So Petruchio's just like, this isn't good enough. I don't understand why all of my servants are letting me down right now. I'm not happy with anything that's happening. Thanks for the follow, Noontime. Petruchio says, I tell thee, Kate, 'twas burnt and dried away, and I expressly am forbid to touch it. And it engenders choler, plainteth anger. And better 'twere that both of us did fast, since of ourselves are choleric, than feed it with such over-roasted flesh. Be patient, tomorrow it shall be mended, and for this night we'll fast for company. Come, I'll bring thee to thy bridal chamber. Bro, you literally just like assaulted half of your servants and then like verbally abused them, and then you're like, Kate, let's go. I'm ready to sex it out. Let's go. What? I'm sorry, but for me, that's like a hard no. That's like a really hard no. I'd be like, actually, I cannot. I am unable. I am unable to participate in the Olympics today. So they exude. Petrucci's like, yeah, the mutton was unacceptable. Let's just go to the bride. Let's go. Let's go sex it out. Let's go. Yeah, so they exude, and then the servants come in separately, and Nathaniel, Peter, and Grumio all come in. And Nathaniel said, Peter, didst ever see the like? Peter says, he kills her in his own humor. So Nathaniel's just like, he's never acted like this before. I have absolutely no idea what's happening. And Peter's like, me neither. And so Curtis then comes in, and Grumio says, where is he? And Curtis says, in her chamber, making a sermon of continency to her, and rails and swears and rates that she, poor soul, knows not which way to stand, to look, to speak, and sits as one new risen from a dream. Away, for he is coming hither. Oh, thanks, Noontime. 안녕하세요. I am not 100% sure, but I do live in Korea, so that could be a potential reason why, is because we are in the same area. So 많이 감사합니다 for watching. My Korean is very bad, obviously, so yeah, I'm really exposing myself here. All right. So Petruchio comes in. So yeah, Curtis is just like, yeah, Petruchio's been like yelling at Katerina in the bedroom, and is just telling her that like she doesn't know how to look, doesn't know how to speak, doesn't know how to stand, doesn't know how to stitch, doesn't know how to do anything, basically. But Petruchio's coming in. So Petruchio, you need to shut up before Petruchio shows up. You know what I'm saying? So Petruchio comes in, and he's got a long monologue, so like really strap in for this, because like yeah, it's what's happening. So Petruchio says, thus have I politically, there's an accent on the O, I'm dead, have I politically begun my reign, and 'tis my hope to end successfully. My falcon now is sharp and passing empty. Until she stoop, she must not be full gorged, for then she never looks upon her lure. Another way I have to man my haggard, to make her come and know her keeper's call, that is, to watch her, as we watch these kites that bait and beat and will not be obedient. She ate no meat today, nor none shall eat. Last night she slept not, nor tonight she shall not. As with the meat, some undeserved fault I'll find about the making of the bed, and here I'll fling the pillow, there the bolster, this way the coverlet, another way the sheets. Ay, and amid this hurly I intend that all is done in reverend care of her. And in conclusion, she shall watch all night, and if she chance to nod, I'll rail and brawl, and with the clamour keep her still awake. This is a way to kill a wife with kindness, and thus I'll curb her mad and headstrong humour. He that knows better how to tame a shrew, now let him speak. 'Tis charity to show. Okay, so Petruchio is essentially just trying to torture Katerina. He's like, look, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that her life sucks right now. I'm going to make sure that she isn't fed. I'm going to make sure that she isn't sleeping because the bed sheets aren't quality enough or the food isn't good enough. So then she's not able, she's hungry and she's tired and she's going to come to me and she's just going to be like, look, I can't handle it anymore. I love you and I'm going to come to you and just like, I'm going to be subservient and obedient to you because you have tamed me. I am no longer interested in revolting against you and speaking up against you. I will be this wonderful, gentle woman. And I don't understand how he expects this to work. But it is what it is. Oh, my ring is stuck in my hair. Ha ha ha. Okay. So now we're on scene 2. Scene 2 is also a little shorty. All right. So we're in Padua. Meanwhile, in Padua, we're in the street outside of Baptista's house. In the streets. What? Where we love to be in Shakespeare plays. And so Tranio comes in as Lucentio, and Hortensio comes in as Licio, aka the music tutor. Okay, so Tranio again is undercover as Lucentio, and Hortensio is undercover as the music tutor so that he can get close to Bianca. And Tranio says, "Is it possible, friend Licio, that Mistress Bianca doth fancy any other but Lucentio? I tell you, sir, she bears me fair in hand." And Hortensio says, "Sir, to satisfy you in what I have said, stand by and mark the manner of his teaching." And then they stand aside. So Tranio is just like, oh, my good friend, my little music, blah, 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 my music friend, my confidant. Does Bianca really love me as much as I love her? And Hortensio is just like, whatever, dude. Just watch her with her other tutor, okay? Who is actually Lucentio, by the way. Just saying. He's like, just watch this. So Lucentio and Bianca come in. Lucentio is undercover as Cambio, aka her literature professor, teacher, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Lucentio says, "Now, mistress, profit you in what you read." Bianca, "What, master, read you? First resolve me that." Wait, no. "What, master, read you? First resolve me that." Lucentio, "I read that I profess the art to love." Bianca, "And may you prove, sir, master of your art." Lucentio, "While you, sweet dear, prove mistress of my heart." And they kiss in court. They kiss and court. They touch the lips. They kiss and court. Okay. So essentially Lucentio is like, hey, have you been getting anything from my tutoring? Kissing court, the old neck fiction. I know, right? For real. So essentially Lucentio is like, are you benefiting from my tutoring? Blah, blah, blah. And Bianca's like, oh, well, what have you been reading lately? Have you been benefiting from the literature you've been reading? And he's like, I've been reading about the art of love. And she's like, have you learned anything? And he's like, well, let me prove it. that I've been learning. It's so cheesy. Anyway, so yeah, they kiss, whatever. And Hortensio says, quick, procedures, marry. Now tell me, I pray, you that durst swear that your mistress Bianca loved none in the world so well as Lucentio. Tranio says, oh, despiteful love, unconstant womankind. I tell thee, Licio, this is wonderful. So Hortensio is just like, look, they're kissing, and you wanted to marry her. And Tranio's like, shit, you're right. Even though he doesn't actually want to marry her, he wants the guy who is undercover as her tutor to marry her. It's like, damn it, she is inconstant. And Hortensio said, make mistake no more, I am not Licio, nor a musician, as I seem to be, but one that scorned to live in this disguise for such a one as leaves a gentleman and makes a god of such a cullion. No, sir, that I am called Hortensio. So Hortensio's like, look, enough of this lying. I am not a mere tutor. I am more than this. I am a mere Hortensio. I have so much to offer, so much estate and wealth for Bianca. And Tranio says, Sir Hortensio, I have often heard of your entire affection to Bianca, and since mine eyes are witness of her lightness, I will with you, if you be so contented, forswear Bianca in her love forever. So Tranio is just like, look, I swear not to court her if you swear not to court her anymore. Because honestly, it's so unfair that she would love someone else. And so Hortensio is about to come in and say, see how they kiss in court, Sir Lucentio. Here's my hand, and here I firmly vow never to woo her more. But do forswear her as one unworthy all the former favors that I have fondly flattered her withal. So Hortensio's like, I could never try to get with her. Like she's over here flirting with this guy that, is her tutor, and she's just like super enamored with her. Meanwhile, I've been really trying to like get with her and like really he's just been trying to convince her father that he would be the best person for her. But the fact that she's in love with this other person, he's like, I honestly have no interest in her if she's going to be in love with somebody else. I get it. And then Tranio comes in and he's like, and here I take the like unfeigned oath, never to marry with her, though she would entreat. Fie on her, see how beastly she doth court him. So Tranio's just like, oh, this is disgusting. I'm so upset. Look at how she's going after him and chasing him. And Hortensio said, would all the world but he had quite forsworn for me, that I may surely keep mine oath, I would be married to a wealthy widow ere 3 days pass, which hath as long loved me as I have loved this proud disdainful haggard. And so farewell, Signor Lucentio. Kindness in women, not their beauteous looks, shall win my love. And so I take my leave in resolution, as I forswore before. So Hortensio is just like, look, I know it kind of is, isn't it? Spicy period drama means soap opera. I love it. So Hortensio is just like, look, I am going to marry a widow. I'm going to marry a woman that actually has kindness and has feelings for me. I'm not going to pursue a woman who's just beautiful anymore, because you know what? That is foolish and stupid. And I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these games. So you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go pursue someone who actually cares about me. And he exits. And then Tranio joins Bianca and Lucentio. Tranio says, Mistress Bianca, bless you with such grace as longeth to a lover's blessed case. Nay, I have ta'en you napping, gentle love, and have forsworn you. With Hortensio. And Bianca says, Tranio, you jest. She knows! Bianca knows! Tranio, you jest, but have you both forsworn me? Tranio, mistress we have. Lucentio, then we are rid of Licio. Tranio, i'faith, he'll have a lusty widow now, that shall be wooed and wedded in a day. Bianca, God give him joy. Tranio, aye, and he'll tame her. Bianca, he says so, Tranio. Tranio, faith, he is gone unto the taming school. Bianca, the taming school? Pfft, what, is there such a place? Tranio, aye, mistress, and Petruchio is the master that teacheth tricks 11 and 20 long to tame a shrew and charm her chattering tongue. And then Biondello comes in. So Bianca's in on all of this. I had no idea. I didn't know Bianca was in on all of this, like, tomfoolery with Lucentio and with Tranio, because she knows that Lucentio is undercover as her tutor. So he must have had a conversation with her and been like, look, I am Lucentio. I am pretending to be your tutor because I wanted to get to know you, and this is why I'm doing it. It's because I wanted to pursue you, and this is what I was willing to do. Yeah. So then Biondello comes in, and he's gonna come in and say some stupid stuff because he's this little young little, I don't even know what. Biondello says, "Oh, master, master, I have watched so long that I am dog weary, but at least I spied an ancient angel coming down the hill. Will serve the turn." And Tranio says, "What is he, Biondello?" Biondello says, "Master, a mercantant, or a pedant. I know not what, but formal in apparel and gait and countenance, surely like a father." Okay, hold up. Hold on. I want to make sure.
Pedant.
Pedant. No. Yeah, pedant. It's like peasant, but pedant. Okay. But hold on. Yeah, just a pedant. Bianca is a reasonable character, but I think, I don't know, Bianca is a very static character in my mind. She's just like, oh, look, I'm a beautiful woman, and all of these men like me, and I don't like any of them. And now Lucentio is here, and I like him, and he and I get along well, and now, ba-da-ba-ba, we're gonna pursue each other. And it's like, you know what? Fair. Okay. So, and Lucentio says, "What of him, Tranio?" And Tranio says, "If he be credulous and trust my tale, I'll give him glad to see Vincentio, and give assurance to Baptista Manola, as if he were the right Vincentio. Take in your love, and then let me alone." So Tranio's just like, look, there's this dude who's coming around. I'm gonna go talk to him and see what his deal is, and then I'll let you know what his deal is. So Lucentio and Bianca go into Baptista's house, and then the pedant and Tranio start talking. So the pedant says, "God save you, sir." Tranio, "And you, sir, you are welcome. Travel you far on, or are you farthest? Are you at the farthest?" Pedant, "Sir, at the farthest for a week or two, but then up farther, and as far as Rome, and so to Tripoli, if God lend me life." Tranio, "What countryman, I pray?" Pedant, "Of Mantua." Tranio, "Of Mantua, sir? Marry, God forbid, and come to Padua, careless of your life." So Tranio's just like, man, you've really traveled really far. I don't know what you're doing, man. And Pedant said, "My life, sir, how? I pray. For that goes hard." Tranio, "'Tis death for anyone in Mantua to come to Padua. Know you not the cause? Your ships are stayed at Venice, and the Duke, for private quarrel twixt your Duke and him, hath published and proclaimed it openly. 'Tis marvel, but that you are but newly come, you might have heard it else proclaimed about." And Pedant says, "Alas, sir, it is worse for me than so, for I have bills for money by exchange from Florence, and must here deliver them." Tranio, "Well, sir, to do you courtesy, this will I do, and this I will advise you. First tell me, have you ever been to Pisa?" So the pedant is coming from Mantua, and people from Mantua are not allowed in Padua, allegedly, because of something that the Duke did. And there's just like a lot of tension within these two areas. But apparently the pedant has some like money to exchange and like some things to deliver, whatever. And pedant says, "Aye, sir, in Pisa I have often been. Pisa renowned for grave citizens." Tranio, "Among them, have you one Vincentio, pedant. I know him not, but I have heard of him. A merchant of an incomparable wealth. Yes, you should investigate, Kermes. It is very important that this be completely settled. Antonio says, he is my father, sir. In sooth to say, in countenance somewhat doth resemble you. And then Biondello says to the side, what is Biondello doing here, dude? What? Oh yeah, he's still outside, and he says to the side, as much as an apple doth an oyster, and all at one. Biondello, why do you say things? Okay. Tranio. Oh, he's saying that he doesn't actually resemble him. As much as an apple doth an oyster, and all in one. So Tranio's like, he's my father, sir, and sooth to say, an accountant somewhat doth resemble you. So he's saying, like, Lucentio kind of looks like this pedant. And Tranio says, to save your life in this extremity, this favor will I do for you for his sake, and think it not the worst of all your fortunes, that you are like to serve Vincentio. His name and credit shall you undertake, and in my house you shall be friendly lodged. Look that you take upon you as you should. You understand me, sir? So shall you stay till you have done your business in the city. If this be courtesy, sir, accept of it. And pedant says, oh, sir, I do, and will repute you ever the patron of my life and liberty. And Tranio says, then go with me to make the matter good. This, by the way, I let you understand. My father is here looked for every day to pass assurance of a dower in marriage. Twixt me and one Baptista's daughter here. In all these circumstances, I'll instruct you. Go with me to clothe you as becomes you. So this new pedant man is going to be undercover as Lucentio now for some reason. He's going to be going somewhere and pretending to be Lucentio for whatever reason. And that is the end of scene 2, act 4. Dun, 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 dun. How exciting. So tomorrow we will finish act 4. We will read scene 3, scene 4, and I think there is a scene 5, but it's like one page. So we will finish that tomorrow, and then we will finish the play next week. I'm really excited. Today wasn't as bad. Today was not, he was a little bit demanding, not gonna lie, but like he wasn't on his worst behavior. You know what I'm saying? So that's all right. As for reading, okay, so as most of you know, I am a literature teacher in Korea. He's not at he's not at Iago level anymore. No. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, I'm trying to make sure he isn't just like, I'm not trying to vilify him, okay? I have a whole bunch of books to read in the next month that I'm excited about. Okay, so these are things that I am choosing for myself. I also need to finish Lolita, but I have 4 novels for my summer class. It's 1 novel a week that I'm reading, and then I've got like all of my other regular classes that I read. So that's an extra 5 novels for the month. And then I've got 3 novels that I'm interested in reading this month for myself. And then we've got Taming of the Shrew. And then we've got another play that we're going to start this month after Taming of the Shrew. And I'm so exciting. It's interesting. Lolita is a very popular book. And it's very interesting to me that people wouldn't sit next to you because, to be honest, like, it's really not that crazy of a book. I have someone who has been very important in my life recommended Lolita to me. They said it was something that was just, it was their favorite book. And I know a lot of people who see it as their favorite book, like it's their favorite piece of literature. It's something that I've wanted to read because it was important to them and it was something that they held dear to them. So it's something that I want to finish. That also, I think I would benefit from reading it. I think reading is just important in general, and being able to take in these emotional experiences that these authors have written, especially these masterpieces that people people consider these beautiful works of art. I am excited to be able to read them and take them in and just kind of absorb all of the information that has been given to me. As for what I will be reading and what I found, so I mean, these are things that I found in my, my workplace's bookcase. I found Slaughterhouse-Five. I haven't ever read Slaughterhouse-Five. I've always wanted to read it. I'm a huge Kurt Vonnegut fan. Like, I love Kurt Vonnegut. Some of my favorite books are by him, including Timequake. I love Timequake. I really love his short stories. I have his short stories here actually with me, and I brought them from the US because I actually adore them so much. And I've thought about doing some of them on stream because so good. So good. Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I really like fantastical fiction. And I've heard that this is a really good read. I haven't ever read Lewis Carroll, and I remember always wanting to read this when I was growing up, and I didn't have it in the house. And I've never watched the films before, so I don't really know very much about it. I know like the general idea, but I don't know the story. I haven't ever read any Thomas Pynchon. I've heard of Thomas Pynchon. If you have any recommendations, Punk, please let me know. And then I've heard about this book. I don't know why I've heard about this book. I've heard that it's really good. I remember somebody recommending this to me at some point in time. Memoirs of a Geisha. Somebody has told me that this was like really just fantastic. So I really want to read this. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Thomas Pynchon. Got it. I'm writing it down now because I need a good reading list. I need things to read because I need things to fill my brain and make it. I mean, not that it's not beautiful, but I would like to pollute my brain with even more knowledge. Okay. Crying of Lot 49. V I love. Okay. Well, I would check those out. Thank you for the rec. Ooh, okay. Good to know. Well, thank you so much for coming. Interesting. All right. Thank you for coming to stream. I have tacos waiting for me. And I am hungry. You know, so Kermies, I was thinking about doing book reviews or like just shortened things like that. Oh, thank you, Kermies. I appreciate it. Also, Khan, welcome to chat. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me completely, Khan, as a teacher. So, okay. Talk to you later, Kermies. Thanks for coming today. Shoot, I completely forgot what I was talking about. No. I got mentally. Oh, I was thinking about doing like shorter summaries, kind of like not book reviews, but kind of like literature reviews, but also doing like shortened summaries where I'm not necessarily uploading something that's an hour long, and that way people can get the content without me necessarily just reading the play while also analyzing it with it. You know what I mean? Like if people want to do that, you know, things like that. Khan, I do read manga. I used to be a very avid manga reader in high school, actually. I haven't read any manga recently because I haven't had access to a library that has primarily English manga because I live in Korea. So it's really hard to get access to it. But I always take suggestions because I like to read it, and it's one of my favorite things to read. I was actually thinking about it today because when I was getting these books, one of the books has like a really interesting kind of cartoonish looking. It reminded me a little bit of Scott Pilgrim. I'm a huge Scott Pilgrim fan, but like the art style reminded me of Scott Pilgrim a little bit when I was looking at it. And I was like, oh, this would be like a dope comic book style, and I would really enjoy reading this if it had like if it had kind of that, if it was a comic book or if it was like a graphic novel, I would really enjoy that because I do enjoy it. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be really interesting to have a graphic novel course? But I mean, that's obviously not up to me. But Opus by Satoshi Kon. No, I haven't. But I always take graphic novel suggestions. Okay. So, yes. Okay. I have to go. Again, I have tacos. I have tacos. Tacos. But I hope you have a good day. I really enjoyed today's stream. I really like today was really good. I'm really hyped that we did this today, and I'm really hyped to do it tomorrow. Um, Again, I always look forward to this. Whenever I didn't do it on Tuesday, I was just like, I wanted to do it, but I was just like way too out of it to even fathom doing it. So, thank you for coming. I always appreciate it, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. I hope you have a good day, or a good afternoon, or a good evening. And this is goodbye. Goodbye.